Well, Frank with Chick Corea and the Electric Band, I knew about Frank my whole life, or at least from the 70s. So I was super well aware of Frank forever. And I loved the way he played forever. I used to play the drums to a number of his early CDs. So I knew well aware of him. I actually even have one of his guitars that's signed. I sent it to Frank 10 years ago with a note and a gift certificate to a real good restaurant in California where he lived. And he sent me the guitar back signed, sent a real nice note with it, and then 10 years later, I got to record with him. So it's quite a special thing to happen. I'm just very lucky to be able to do that. Lucky that he was able to play with us, especially. His schedule was good at that time, and we actually had so much fun recording with Frank in LA, that we recorded again with him, and it was partially his suggestion to get together and record again in New York City, which we did. Most of the music was written ahead of time and forwarded to the different players. Some stuff was done in the studio, but most of it was kind of orchestrated out before we would meet up. But just like Andy Timmons, Frank would go to the hotel room and study after we had a 10-hour day in the studio. He would go back and rehearse, for at least an hour or more, and kind of did that throughout the whole process. He was always making notes, always asking questions, always trying to improve what he was doing. Yeah, the Ultimate Flamingo song was kind of written ahead of time with Frank in mind, with his acoustic style, and he plays great at that type of music as well as other styles, but that was pretty much written for him. Yeah, it was so special to play with Frank. He's just so talented and such a easy guy to play with. He learns so fast, and he can pretty much just blast out anything you put in front of him. Oh, I've always loved playing the drums. I started playing when I was 9 years old. I got into jazz fusion as early as like 12 or 13. A real good friend that I'm still friends with today, Ed Five Ash, turned me on to jazz fusion, and that was it. I never looked back. But I love playing the drums. I always have. I like the guitar and piano too, but drums are great. It's a little easier for me. It's a great workout. I love doing it. It's always been my passion on the side. Car business is the first, and the drumming is definitely my close second. Well, for the people out there that are aware of Frank, which there are so many, anybody in jazz fusion knows of Frank Gambale. He plays just as well, just as perfectly today as he did in the 70s. He's just hasn't changed in that way. His playing is just about as good as you can get. So if that's the style of guitar that you like, it's a great CD with Frank.